Yo, that one-on-one sitting between Ramaphosa and Trump was intense. It was intense, but credit to Ramaphosa. I thought he handled the situation well, given the circumstances, of course. I understand ukuthi abaningi bazoxeka because firstly, there are those of us who have always looked at this USA-South Africa relationship with disdain because it did not exist on equal footing. It was kind of exploitative. It was kind of bully domination. It wasn't exactly reciprocal from where, of course, they are seated. So when it erupted the way it did earlier this year, they were jovial. It made them, because they then thought, you know what, this would actually force South Africa to prioritize relations in the global South. This would help South Africa to focus more on BRICS, to play its role in the capacitation of BRICS, so that BRICS can be an organ, that can effect the new world order as it is, about dollarization and whatnot. And so they were happy. So I understand that even when this trip was talked about before it actually happened, that they were critical of it because they felt, it was just beneath us as South Africa to have our president going to Washington and kneel before Trump, especially after what had happened between South Africa and America. Started a way back with the ambassador of the United States actually lying to the world, saying that he saw a ship leaving the port of South Africa to Russia with weapons. He said that, and unfortunately, South Africa did not have the strength to deal with him. The same way Rasul was dealt with, for example, when he spoke out of turn about Donald Trump in America. He was actually kicked out of America for speaking ill about the president, speaking critical about the president. He was actually killed. So this was just a culmination of all those events. Donald Trump actually ordering a permanent halt on US aid. I think there is also, energy transition plan as well, pulling US out of that. I think there was also the talk about getting rid of Africa from AGOA. So these were quite rocky waters. Were quite rocky waters in the RSA-USA relationship. So some people were happy about that, but unfortunately, to their disappointment, this is not what happened. South Africa did not shift to BRICS, did not go to China, for example, and ask for assistance. China did not offer to fill the vacuum. Russia did not offer to fill the vacuum. South Africa went back to the United States of America to say, come on, let us talk. We need you. Some people are criticizing Ramaphosa. They are saying he gravelled, there was no diplomacy. He did not represent, the South African strength in the world. He just presented South Africa as a symbol of a country, for example. My impression was, look, this is how Donald Trump operates. When you go to Donald Trump, unless if you have a leverage, and there are only few countries that can go to America and actually negotiate with America. It's China and maybe the Saudis. Other countries, they cannot do that. When another country goes to America, it's like a mafia type of a thing where you go and kiss the ring. So your demeanor must be in accordance with that. And you must have a gift for Donald. You must have a gift just to make him to feel like he's a better man. And if you have succeeded in doing that, then you can then begin some kind of negotiation. But You are not going to go there being a South Africa without any leverage and think that you are just going to be all diplomatic and all of that. Bearing in mind, of course, that the sole intention of this working trip was to restore the relations of South Africa and America. And the objective assessment of whether Ramaphosa succeeded or not, of his entire performance, must be based on that objective, nothing else but that objective. So people who were against him going, I don't think they are best qualified to suddenly make an objective commentary, because I think they are going to be biased. They are not going to be objective. They are going to be subjective, and that is not going to help. Because at the end of the day, we've got to accept that Ramaphosa does not share the sentiments that about white people, about white privilege, about white supremacy, about capital, white monopoly capital. He does not share the same sentiments that other people harbor, simply because he has benefited from the domination by capital. He is a product of capital. So he's not anti-capital. He's an agent of capital. He's what we call the comprador bourgeois. So he does not share those sentiments. So to him, the relationship with America is more important than South Africa focusing on the global south and indeed prioritizing BRICS relations. It's more important. Why? And as you know, he looks at it from the economic point of view, that America is still the world's biggest economy. I know that US is right up there, but America is still the biggest economy, and South African economy is still heavily reliant on the American economy, in as much as China is the biggest export trade partner of South Africa. It is as simple as that. So he went to restore those relations, particularly because of his understanding of how much of the economic realities of South Africa that are just riding on this relationship. Of course, in South Africa, we have high unemployment rate. We need jobs. He has to come up with solutions. And actually, he cannot come up with those solutions now, because we need solutions now, not in future. He cannot. That is how he looks at it. He cannot come up with those solutions unless he mend these relations. You heard after the meeting yesterday, some businessmen promised to open a plant in South Africa that would employ about 4,000 people. All those things are good. All those things are what we needed. So, in my view, I think Team South Africa did well. I think he did well. Not just in how he handled himself during the one-on-one with Trump, but also in how he actually make use of the human capital that he brought along. I understand that many people were critical that he brought along Donald Trump, but of course we now know that it was on the request, not Donald Trump, Johan Rupert along. I know, but it was on the request of Donald Trump, because as I say, this was more like a mafia business. Had to give Donald Trump what he wanted, if you wanted him to listen to you. And you know what? I think he handled himself well. Of course, on the basis of the objective of that working trip. He went there to restore relations. I think the presence of Rupert, for example, was just quite key. The presence of Rupert. And how Rupert spoke more like, I don't know why, but he spoke more like a statesman. He did not go there and reinforce this myth of a genocide. He spoke about illegal immigration, and also when John Steenhuisen was acting all holy, he said even in the province where DA is a governing party, there is a problem of crime, problem of death, people are dying, gang violence, and all of that. So from where I'm sitting, it actually went well. Obviously.